Welcome to my operations management video on the 8 basic quality tools. Those 8 basic tools are 1. Flowcharts, 2. Check sheets, 3. Histograms, 4. Pareto charts, and as you'll see, histograms and Pareto charts are very close to each other. 5. Scatter diagrams, 6. Control charts, 7. Run charts, and as you will see, control charts and run charts are very similar to each other, and 8. Cause and effect diagrams. We're only going to look at the tools in this video. We're not going to see how to produce them. My students can access the video tutorials for these problems using the content menu in D2L. YouTube viewers can access the video tutorials on my MOOC on udemy.com. I have a long and short version of the URL posted on the screen, and I will post this URL in the description. A flowchart is a diagram of the steps in a process. One of the first steps in troubleshooting any process is drawing a diagram of it. This can also help you spot operations where you can speed things up. Please note that not all software uses the same symbols for their flowcharts. A check sheet is a total for organizing and collecting data. It's a grid like you see on the screen. Times of day will either be in the columns or the rows, and the types of defects will be either the other column or row. This lets you record the number of defects and the time they happened. The totals can then feed into a graph and help you troubleshoot the issues. A histogram is a chart that shows an empirical frequency distribution. Excel calls this a column chart, although it doesn't put the columns next to each other. The height represents the count, or the frequency. The x-axis can be categories. A Pareto is a special kind of histogram. It's a diagram that arranges categories from highest to lowest frequency of occurrence, and it's always highest to lowest. You'll see that on the screen starting with red and then yellow and then green and so on. You will also notice it has 2 y-axes. The bar is read off of the left axis. The line is read off of the y-axis. The line is the cumulative percentage total. Excel can produce Pareto charts starting with version 2016. Prior to that, it couldn't. A scatter diagram is a graph that shows the degree and direction of a relationship between 2 variables, generally 2 ratio scale variables. It's mainly used for spotting linear trends. The one on the screen shows a negative trend, although not a strong one. A control chart is a statistical chart of time-ordered values of a sample statistic. It is roughly a confidence interval. It has an upper control limit, a center line, a lower control limit, and the actual observations. Any observation above the upper control limit is considered out of control. Any observation below the lower control limit is considered out of control. Also, it's considered out of control if there's observable patterns in the data. A run chart is a tool for tracking results over a period of time. It is essentially a control chart with no upper or lower control limits. A cause and effect diagram is a diagram used to organize a search for the causes of a problem. The center line is the problem you're investigating. Each branch off of that is a potential major cause of that problem. The branches off of that are subcauses that could cause the major cause. This is really a brainstorming tool. You're laying this out to show all of the possible causes, and then you collect data and do investigating to help you narrow down your search. While the correct name for this is a cause and effect diagram, it's usually just called a fishbone diagram because it looks like the bones of a fish after you've eaten the fish. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and consider subscribing to this channel.